Hello everyone, I hope these messages find you in good health and good wealth and good spirits. This is going to be a real shit message and I don't know why. I honestly don't know what's going to come out other than some form of a darker energy. I was led, I don't even remember the last time I read out of this deck. But it's the, it's like the dark mirror or the mirror. I don't know. I don't know what it's called. I don't even know where the box is. Y'all, I have too many cards. Too many. Not really. You can never have any. That's like a guy having too many tools or a woman having too many shoes. Like, no such thing, right? No such thing. Anyway, yeah, this is just gonna be, you know what? I need to be is what says how I'm feeling. And so that's why we're doing a real shit message, because I need to be with the people that are not scared to be also. And I need to, and I'm in a little bit of a darker place. I don't know why this energy has been trying to come through. I've been trying to resist it and it's not working out. Like, there's no resisting this shit. Like, we're going to get through this. And, I don't know, you may be feeling that way too. There's definitely some shit coming back around. I would say from 6 months to a year ago and moving 6 months to a year forward. You may see repeating of patterns from some people or even yourself, right? Like, let's look at where we were and what we were going through, 6, 7, 8 months ago. And also I feel, look, the reason I feel like I'm saying 6, 7, 8 months ago has something to do with, I feel like you knew, right? Like you saw the signs of something that was happening, some sort of behavior or trait, possibly even within yourself or another. Let's say, right, 7, 8 months ago, and then you saw it play out, right? Let's say 6 months ago, and you're going to see those things happen again. Hopefully with more growth, right? Because we always want to be growing. And then I feel like this may set the tone even for 6 months to a year down the line, okay? Depending on perception and how people deal with and take things. I almost came on here and read tea leaves for you, to be very honest, because like I said, I'm feeling like I gotta be me, and you may be feeling like this too. I'm feeling like I need my darker cards. I need my ways that don't really that are really up more for interpretation of the intuitive reader that's doing the channel, because it is a channel. It is wanting to be channeled. As I stated before, the cookie cutter way is getting harder for me to do. It's almost, even today especially, I couldn't even come on and do a daily. I don't know that I'm going to be able to do any of the signs because it's almost disgusting to me in a way. Like, anything fake, anything entertainment, anything fucking cookie cutter, or anything with the bells and the whistles and call me now for your free reading. It's like, fuck you and your charlatan shit, right? That's how I'm feeling. I'm gonna open this window, y'all. Oh, and it's even kind of a gloomy day. Not really. I mean, it's like the sun wants to peek out, but it's like psych your mind. I'm just gonna show. I feel like the sun's kind of like wiggling its ass, like, see that? Yeah, can't get it, can't have it. I think it's gonna rain today. It smells like rain, certainly, and it's been very humid, but we need it also, right? We need that humid weather here because of crops and shit and shit. I love y'all so much. Yeah, I want to stop and express how much I love you. And I know only the real ones are going to follow this because I've been talking for so long now. If you ain't the real one, you ain't even here no more. Woo, hello. Yeah, there she is. I made a noise in my chair, made a noise too. Did y'all hear that? I said, my chair said, Yeah, what are objects, right? But matter that we define. Oh yeah, it's only a table because I say it's a table, because I perceive it as a table, right? Like, that's quantum physics. I was talking about this to someone not that long ago, right? Especially when you have a breakthrough. And also, that could be something for many of you that's coming up too. I feel like I've been fighting another journey because I just have so much on my plate. I also feel like I've been fighting a breakdown and even a breakaway. I mean, a lot of you don't know all the things that have happened to me, but the last 2 months have been seriously traumatic and busy, and I feel like I just haven't had time to break, right? Like I don't have time. I don't have time for that shit right now. Like, who has time to cry? Who has time to grieve? Okay? Like, when you're taking care of everything and everyone, cuz bills don't stop coming and mouths don't stop getting hungry and the world does not stop for you, especially when you're the one that's being mostly dependent on, right? And so, I don't know, man. I feel that coming. I feel like I'm hearing Phil Collins, like, I can feel it. Was it in the air tonight? In the air tonight. Is that the name of the song? Yeah. Um. Oh yeah, it's coming. Right. Right. Right, right. So yeah, some of you may be, wanting to journey or going to deep places of meditation. Travel also could be coming up for many of us. I don't know. I just feel like this resistance to a truth, to a raw truth, right? And we all know that raw truth sometimes can be hard to look at. It can be hard to face. It can be very sad and even painful, right? But let's just take everything off the table. Like, who gives a shit what's happening with the job and the significant other or a lack thereof, and all of these sort of mundane, who gives a shit what's going on with the business? And, I mean, we give a shit, right? We give a shit as much as we can give a shit. But those of us that are on another level, like, if we're out of line, if we're out of whack on that level, if we're out of whack in our spirituality and within our own dark spaces, then, I mean, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. It's just a saying. So if you're a male coming here to watch this reading, don't take offense. Although, I gotta say, if you're still here, that ain't you. So, we're getting real back to back to life, back to reality. And it is I'm hearing planet soul. Yeah. Some of y'all may be going on a different type of journey. Hey, you know what? I'm seeing some substances here. I'm not against it. I'm not for it. I don't condone it, nor do I condemn it. Have fun. Be safe. Drink lots of water. Understand your surroundings. Know who you. I wouldn't go in any large events and do this, especially because I'm seeing pressed sheetrock or something. Like, it's a pressed form. It's not what you think it is when you take it, and it may have something in it that you don't need. So understand what you're, if make sure that you can trust who you're getting whatever you're getting from, okay? Again, I'm not condoning, I'm not condemning, I'm saying be safe, okay? That's a specific message for someone. Anyway, yeah, I know that, like, I gotta go where I gotta go. I gotta go where I gotta go. Behind me, when I've been doing these readings here in this particular spot, in this particular setup where I have it for, I think, 2 months, two and a half months perhaps. And shortly after my brother died, I don't know, maybe the mid-April, make a week, 2 weeks into April, I kept, like, feeling this thing over my shoulder or, like, behind my back, right? And I'd spin my chair real quick and I'd look back and it's like, what the like, it literally feels like I can unzip the air behind me and walk through. So I don't know what this is possibly indicative of. I'm not sure, like, if it is just because there are, maybe the veils are thinner or something has shifted, maybe some sort of parallel, like, something, I'm not sure, but it's real heavy. I've also been waking up to a lot. We're just getting real. We're just laying it out there. Like, they're like, just fucking talk to them. That's what they're telling me. And so here I am. Here we are. I probably should have had the camera in my face. But yeah, I just don't feel like fucking with the setup. So, put it on Bluetooth, turn the volume up, make you some coffee, make you some tea, carry on with your day. You don't need to watch this. You can just listen to me. We'll just listen to each other. How about that? Yeah, they're saying just talk to them. All right. Yeah, I've been waking up to some shit. I've been waking up to well shit. We just gonna talk. We just gonna put it out there, okay? So y'all know that I have, I've talked to you before about, my sex addiction and shit like that. And this is the reason I went celibate. This is the reason I have sort of navigated the way I have navigated and done what I have done over the past 9 years, really. And 8 years solid, and then was celibate for 5 years. I was celibate for a year, and then traumatic events happened, and I conceived a child, and then I was celibate after that for nearly 5 more years. um hey, shit happens, right? I don't regret him. So there's a lot of physical symptoms that come with that. There's a lot of psychological trauma that comes with that. There's I'm very different. I'm very different. It isn't even just your normal average sex addiction. And what kind of fucking sex addiction is average, right? What kind of drug addiction is average? What kind of addiction is average? Like if you have an addiction to something, I mean, right? Like the very definition means that it's fucking ruling your life. And that's harmful. It's a little bit harmful. It's harmful and hurtful all at the same time. And what is the word for that? Well, harmful works. um so yeah, I've been having these like weird fucking symptoms coming up where I've had to sort of evaluate. And those of you that have been rocking me with me for a while, you know that I uncovered some childhood memories about 4 years ago, in a series of ayahuasca journeys. I recovered some very traumatic childhood experiences that I didn't even know were there. And so that answered a lot of questions for me. So I don't know. There's been a lot coming up. There's been a lot coming up in these recent months, and there's been a lot that has triggered it. And this I guess they're having me talk to you like this because I don't know what's going on with y'all, but maybe you can relate. If my story and my experience can help anyone out, that's what I really do this for, because many of you know I was born like this, and it was very hard to navigate. No one really understood me. My parents didn't understand what was happening. My mother, she would walk in and she would see me being lashed around and my clothes being ripped off and dragged by my hair out of the bed with like literally nothing. It was just air, but obviously something, and no one could stop it and no one could control it, and no one knew how to help me. And so if I can help you, here you go. I searched for a long time for people to help me. That's why I know the Bible so well. That's why I know about a lot of other people's walks of life. I looked for elders I didn't care. Spiritual was spiritual to me. I don't care, just help me, right? And no one could. No one could. And yeah, it took a lot of, like, when I tell you I was born in the 40, ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. So there's been a lot. There's been a lot coming up, and over these past weeks, I would say, I told you, like in the middle of April, it's like this, it's like I could just unzip the air. And, yeah, I don't know. I've been finding a lot of, like, I've been trying to keep myself from jumping, and I'm jumping more and more. Like, that's not helping. The resistance to, and I talked about this in a real shit last time, where it's like so hard for me to control that. And I worked so hard to control that, right? So I don't know. The resistance is not helping. So now I'm at a point where I just feel like, hey, maybe I'm just, and here's the thing too. I don't know what suddenly I'm scared of. Maybe like going back to a past me and old me. But then am I really scared of that? Because I don't know. I'm feeling real like a fuck it today. I'm feeling a real energy of, you know what? The past me wasn't all that bad. Okay. Yeah, maybe I misused something. No, let's be honest. I'm gonna be real. I most definitely misused some things. I most definitely knew what the fuck I was doing when I was doing it. Um, I was out of line. I was out of whack. I felt like I was used for most of my life, and therefore I knew what I could do in the 40 because I was born there. I had a very, very good understanding of energy and how to drain people of it and their life force and get what I wanted, especially when it came to sex. Um, because that's why I warn y'all about sex magic. That's why I warn you about mixing your fluids. That's why I warn you about who you lay with, because I'm not the only one. I'm probably one of the only ones that's been on that side and done what I've done and kind of come to you and fucking tell you how real it is from personal fucking experience of being on the other side. Now that may be, I'm not saying I'm the only one that, but one of the few, but I'm definitely nowhere near a few that are capable of this type of destruction and vampiric sort of drain. And that's why I call myself Child of Light, because one day I realized I always just thought I was some, like, well, especially too, though, growing up, in a world where the Abrahamic God is, the mainstream, right? And even the ones that are not, like, just this way of thinking, this box, they say a lot, mostly what I do is considered witchcraft. It's considered demonic, and I had no control of it. Like, could you imagine what it's like being told as a child, like, there's something wrong with you, you're a demon, you're bad, you're wrong, you're fucking with evil, and that you are evil. uh it's fucked up. It's fucked up. So I just always, like, kind of made it okay that people said that shit to me, and I took that on. I owned it, which was obviously wrong, but conditioning, right? And I thought I was just this dark, evil product of a dark, evil place. And one day, I don't know what happened. A lot, a lot happened. And I got down on my knees and I just, I begged spirit. I was like, I know you're fucking out there because I've seen you. I was born on the other side. So if that exists, then that exists, kind of a, deal. And I need help. I need help because I'm breaking. And that is when I realized that I was, yeah, a child of darkness, but also a child of light. And it was the first time that I could ever even entertain, seriously and sincerely entertain, a thought like that. And that's why I call myself Child of Light. And I've gotten a lot of shit over that because of the way that I speak, because of the things that I speak about, because of my relationship with death and the other side, and the things that people would not consider the light worker, airy fairy, woo woo, namaste. Yeah, fuck you and your your tourist attraction. This ain't no motherfucking tourist attraction, baby. This is the real deal, Holyfield. And it took a lot to start this and do this and come before you all. It took a lot of spirit convincing me and telling me, to go forward and make my forehead like flint. And the ones that would hear, and that was that. And here we are. And there we go. I don't know why all this is coming out, but here we are. I don't know if I'm gonna load this. But coming out for a reason. So over the past couple weeks, I've been waking up to these weird entities. So I guess to tell you all of that, right? To say all of that, to maybe allow you to have a better understanding of who and what you're dealing with and the voice behind this camera, and maybe even a little bit of the pain behind these eyes. And so there are a lot of things that I'm accustomed to when it comes to dealing with the darker nature of things, and what some would even call evil and other dimensions, and this and that, and the entities that I've been seeing here now. All of that to tell you this: I don't recognize them. I don't recognize them. I don't recognize their energy signatures. And also, usually they're pretty in your face because we are so familiar with each other. I have no fear of them. Some of them, I wouldn't say have a fear of me, but they definitely don't make it a point to show their face, right? Once you kind of get accustomed to calling things out and look at them dead in their eye, and especially with this type of a warrior energy, you're just not really fucked with. Now, you encounter things when you go up against things for other people because they're also not, used to you, and right? But these particular beings that I've been encountering, they're very sneaky. I've not really encountered these little sneaky shits before. I don't understand. I don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand. And I also don't recognize their energy. They're sneaky and they're foreign to me. Like I said, it's like, I'm not saying it's a new energy, but it's definitely new to me. And I've been waking up. Like, I saw one a few weeks ago, I want to say, like, no, it had to be this week. It had to be this week, early this week, or late last week. Excuse me. And I felt very anxious. I felt really like I was going to like I was on the verge of a panic attack, and I couldn't figure out why. It literally happened out of nowhere. My life was going fine. I was just sitting there. There was nothing bothering me. Now, mind you, I used to have severe anxiety, and I used to be prescribed medication for it, and I got off of it, and I don't know. I knew that, everything psychological has to do with environment and perception for the most part, with a healthy person, a healthy brain, and a strong mind, right? And so I knew that I could switch that. I knew that I could change that around, and I did, and I got off medication, and I have not had a panic attack in years. I mean, when I tell you years, I am like 8-9 years. I have not had a panic attack. I'm not saying I don't get anxious every now and then. I mean, who doesn't? But like, being anxious is not the same as anxiety, and it's definitely not the same as a full-blown freaking panic attack. And yeah, I could feel myself kind of verging in, and when and also I think it's, probably important to possibly note that these panic attacks would throw me into seizures, because I also used to have seizures as well. Wow, we're just getting like, do y'all want to know my blood type too? Shit, what is happening? Confession session 101. All right. So anyway, wow. I didn't expect to get up here and do all this. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, I could feel like a panic attack coming on, and I caught a glimpse of one of these things, and I thought, I'm tired, right? I'm tired. I'm working nonstop trying to catch up, because I've been, traveling all over the freaking world, it seems like, trying to keep everything afloat, and just with everything that's, happened. And so I thought, I'm tired. Yeah. And plus, too, I'm so accustomed to seeing, like, sometimes it's elbow to elbow in my house, right? I mean, the average person would walk in and it would just look empty, but to the spiritual person, it's like, it's fucking crowded in this motherfucker, right? Like, it's popping. It's like a nightclub that's well over capacity. Like, fire marshal would come in and shut that shit down if they knew about it, right? But of course, obviously on a spiritual spiritual level. But so, I mean, I'm used to seeing things like it was something I did not recognize, but I wrote it off, right? And this happened right before I went to sleep. I don't know, maybe an hour or so before I went to sleep. And I was so restless. Like I was moving my legs so much that they actually started cramping up. I realized my body was super stiff because I started getting a lot of tension within my muscles. Yeah, it was just, super weird, man. Super weird. And especially just to come out of nowhere like that. So anyways, I go to sleep. And I wake up in a full blown, so that's another thing. That's why I told you about the sex addiction and all that. It I still fight that heavy. It will hit me out of nowhere. And it's hard. Like it's very physical. It's not just psychological, and I think that's what a lot of people miss about whatever goes on with me. It's very hard to have people in my life that are understanding of that part of me, because it is a lot to deal with. Asking anyone to deal with a recovering addict or a recovered addict at any point of any addiction is a lot, I feel, to ask of someone, and both people have to be very understanding in that space. And it is a different type of commitment, what you're asking someone to understand, what you're asking someone to deal with, when it does arise. The certain things that you can't do, certain things that will trigger you. So it's and then with this, what I'm telling you, it is very physical, and I don't have a lot of control over it, because whatever, I've been to doctors and all that, and nobody can fucking help me. It's like I'm aroused pretty much all the time. So there's constantly a blood flow. I orgasm a lot. It doesn't take anything. I don't have to be touched. I don't think about sex. It has nothing to do with like feeling sexual or feeling. It just fucking happens constantly. It's constant to the point that it hurts. Oftentimes there's pain involved, like physical pain, and it sometimes is worse than others. And so sometimes when it hits, it's really bad. Most times, like, it happens all the time, but most times it's not that bad. And then sometimes it gets real bad, kind of like if you're just a high strung, anxious person, you're not always having a panic attack, but when it's getting really bad, you go into a panic attack. And somehow they coincide sometimes, not in years, but apparently that shit started again. And so yeah, I woke up actually wringing wet, just sweat. I mean, there was a freaking outline on the bed where I was sweating, and I was shaking so bad. I woke up choking on my throw up because I went to throwing up, having a full-blown panic attack. I could barely get my footing when I was getting out of the bed. And meanwhile, I'm coming the whole time. Just fucking, yeah, full-blown, which is also something that used to be accustomed to, having panic attacks in during, right before and right after orgasms. So when I get up, well, actually, while I'm still in bed, I see the thing shoot across the room. Same thing I saw before I went to sleep. I see it shoot across the room, and yeah, I get up and I see it like shoot back, almost like it was hiding. It was hiding, but it wasn't hiding while I was asleep. It was almost like it was hovering or something. I don't know. And this is not like, I want everyone to be clear, this is not sleep paralysis. This is not, I mean, I was fully awake. I was fully in motion. I was fully in panic attack. I was fully in orgasm. I was in all out of a dead freaking sleep. And I see this thing. And again, I noticed this is an energy that I'm not familiar with. This is something that is either a mutation, or it's new here, or possibly just new to me. I'm not sure. But before all that, like, I started noticing the insects acting real weird. I started noticing some of the birds acting real weird. The animals just have like weird behavior, right? If you're in nature a lot, if you're an observer, and most of you that are empaths likely are, you watch the caterpillar, you watch the butterfly, you watch the fly, you watch the ant, you watch the hummingbird, you watch the sparrow, you watch the hawk, you watch the squirrel, you know what I'm saying? Like, you watch the snakes, you just, this construct, simulation or not, it speaks and it communicates just like any other computer program. And you learn how it speaks. And when something is different, you notice. And I've been noticing big time.